the significant thing about the sounds that Liz von Muggenthaler has recorded that is different from those fish sounds is the fact that the sonograph readout of the frequency, independent from the audio recording, shows that a portion of the sound goes up past the range of human hearing into ultrasound. And this is normally associated in nature with animals that have active biosonars, such as echolocating whales and bats.
Right.
So what she's got on the sonograph is very much acoustically like what you see on sonar readouts of echolocating whales and bats. So that's the significant thing regarding those sounds that tends to say, well, this might be echolocation, is the ultrasound component that's up past the range of human hearing. But that's only on the graph. You don't hear it on the tape because, like I said, it's beyond the range of human hearing. So it wouldn't be on the audio signal, at least. We wouldn't be able to hear it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
And at the time that we got the sounds in 2017, I was doing some additional research and was able to find echolocation-like clicks made by humpback whales. They call them magap clicks. And the reason they call them that is that the scientific name for the humpback whale is Megaptera. So they were calling these sounds that the humpback whale is making as magap clicks. And a portion of the sounds that I've heard on recordings of these magap clicks sounds almost identical to what Dr. von Muggenthaler has recorded in Lake Champlain. So, the closest that anybody's come to connecting those sounds with the supposed unknown animals in Lake Champlain is that in 2003, when they were recording the sounds, they also had a sonar unit going to record if anything passed underneath the boat or around the boat. And at one point, when they were recording the sounds, there was an object on the sonar underneath the boat, which they estimated to be about 15 feet long. So that's not proof that the object underneath the boat was making the sound, but it's certainly suggestive.
Right.
So, it's inconclusive at this point, but, it's definitely deserving of further work in the future. So that is the significant results from 2017. We had the underwater cameras down, but due to the murkiness of the water, Will was unable to get any usable images. Now, we have had good images using the same cameras in the past. We were there in 2014 and were able to get pictures of fish passing over the camera. And I have those. I posted them several times on Facebook. You may have even seen them. So the cameras work, but it's just we had really bad water visibility problems that summer, so there was nothing really usable from the cameras. So the best results came from the hydrophones and from the sonar unit.
Well, it's nice that you guys are able to go out there and you don't come back empty-handed, and I find that that keeps it compelling. I mean, that really does. Why don't we take a break, and then when we come back, we can
continue the discussion.
We'll just pick up right where Scott left off. So.
Okay, everybody. This is Paraversal Universe that you are listening to, and we will be right back after this break.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. Since 1948, Fate Magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back from our first commercial break, everyone. This is Paraversal Universe on WBHM Digital Broadcasting, WCET-FM, Emilian Pisano Productions, and the Rift Radio Network. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Mallett, and we'd like to take a minute to thank everybody who makes Paraversal Universe possible, including graphic art director Lawrence D. Miza, music theme by Matt Stenz, announcer Frank Lee, and producer Kat Hobson. Thank you all. Also, shout-outs to our affiliate network owners, Howie Odell at the Rift Family, and Michael Vera at Late Night in the Midlands and WCET, and to Amelia Pisano at APPRN. Thank you all for carrying our content. And, of course, a big thank you to God in heaven, whose strength beyond strength is stronger than all, for granting us this wonderful show and opportunity here to be with all of you.
Amen.
An appreciation to all the various platforms we're on, including iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Twitch, YouTube, Dailymotion, TalkStream Live, TuneIn, Blog Talk, Podbean, Google Play, Mixcloud, and Paranormal Radio live stream app, which is streamed and restreamed from various other outlets all over the world via the internet. All right, this segment of Paraversal Universe is brought to you by the UFO Wisconsin Research Team, Wisconsin's alternative to MUFON. Okay, back to the show. This is Paraversal Universe, and we're talking to the undisputed king of plesiosaurs, Mr. Scott Mardis, cryptozoologist from the Zombie Plesiosaur Society.
Well,
Scott.
thank you for the accolades.
Oh, you're welcome. It's true.
You just mentioned our mutual friend, Lawrence DeMisa. You know what he just bought me as a gift?
I saw that. That's so awesome.
Yeah, he bought me the the big Jurassic World mosasaur. Oh, it's great. It's the size of a cat. It's huge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I saw
I
the
want to
picture.
shout out to him and tell him thank you for that. Yeah. And my buddy Max Hawthorne also bought me a plesiosaur recently, so that's really cool. So shout out to both of those guys. And
Sweet. Sweet.
And Lawrence
So-
just in chat.
Oh. Yep, Lawrence just popped in chat.
Hey, Lawrence.
oh, cool. Excellent.
So, where were we?
We were talking about sonar.
We were talking about
We
sonar.
were talking about 2017.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do you wish to continue? So, yeah.
Well, that's
Go
that's
ahead.
basically the significant results for 2017. One other thing I'd like to mention is the year before that, there was an expedition sponsored by Asahi Broadcasting for a Japanese program.
Right.
And they hired boats, and we had underwater cameras attached to a downrigger with baited hooks to try to attract something to the cameras. And we had one piece of video footage of some kind of appendage from something rather large, comes up and investigates the bait hanging on the hook. It doesn't appear to bite anything out of it, but what it looks like is the tail of an eel. Now, you see the video clip. I posted this on YouTube if people want to check it out. What you Google would be Lake Champlain Monster, November 2016. So anyway, on the clip, you see this piece of bait hanging on a hook, and the piece of bait is about the size of my hand, so it's relatively large. And then you see this big appendage, like either a tail or possibly a flipper, a grayish object come up and touch the bait and then disappear. So I thought that was significant too. You can't rule out that it's the tail of a large eel, but the oddball thing about it is I would think that an eel would come up and just take a bite out of the bait and, be done with it. But so I don't know what's going on there, but it's an interesting piece of footage of something alive and relatively large, because the size of this appendage is about twice or three times the size of the bait. So I figure this appendage, whatever it is probably about at least 2 feet long. And it's obviously not the whole animal. So that's another significant thing that's happened, I guess, on my watch,
Right. So around that time, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, we were in the deepest part of the lake. One thing I was really happy about with the Japanese expedition, they gave me a lot of input into what we were going to do and where we were going to do it. So we purposely went to the deepest part of the lake, which is near a place called Split Rock. It's 400 feet deep. And the camera was down 80 feet below the boat. So it was really deep. And they had illumination on the camera. So, if you hadn't had illumination, it would have been pitch black because the sunlight can't go down that far.
Right.
So it was in deep, deep, deep water, the deepest part of Lake Champlain. So, well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that was around the time that Sandra Mancy passed away.
No, this would have been probably about a year and a half before she passed away. She passed away in March of last year.
Okay, my apologies.
And, yeah, that was a great loss. I was friends with Sandra and thought a lot of her, and I'm still friends with her daughter and granddaughter. I got to know Sandra first around 2005 when I went to see one of her lectures she was giving in Burlington at the Echo Center Aquarium. And when I first moved to Burlington in 1994, she would have been living in Winchester, New Hampshire. She had an antique